Welcome back, everybody. We've got sad news on the farm today. Miss Snow White died. I just want to give a little bit of a backstory on her. Well, and Bear. Bear's right there. Or Mr. Bam Bam, as my husband would say. We'll just go over to him and give you guys a little bit of the backstory. Hi, Diamond. When I got a notice from a friend who went and got a couple of bottle baby sheep that were rejected, and Mr. Bam Bam here, he was one of 4 that I had gotten that were bottle baby rams. And he was the biggest, the most strongest one, obviously, and then I lost the other ones. They died as bottle babies. But Mr. Bear here, he's been pretty healthy the whole time we've had him. We've never really had any problems with him, even when he was young as a baby. And it looks like his horn is actually growing back right there. Look at that. But yeah, he is a really nice ram. He'll be actually a year old next month in March. March 10th, I think, is when he was born, because I got him just as a week old, or he wasn't quite a week old. But I ended up getting Snow White from the same friend who had one of these bottle babies, who hers didn't live either. But the gentleman that had these sheep, they just roam on like 200 acres, and he throws a couple rams in, every fall, and then they have babies around this time or whatnot. And when they reject them, he's bottle feeding them, but he works some weird hours, and it's hard for him to actually bottle feed, so he sells them. And he replaced hers with another. It was with Snow White, and she was only like a day old, not even quite a day old. Like, she was born that morning or something, and she went and picked her up that afternoon. Wasn't sure she had colostrum. And then I still had two of the 4 left, so I picked the bigger one, which was about the same size he was, and I gave her that one in exchange for Snow White. Then I had a lot of trouble with keeping Snow White alive because she was tiny, very tiny. I mean, I've got videos of her from last year where we had her inside for like 2 months wearing a diaper and stuff, and I had to consistently feed her. And I felt like she did pretty well. She got out of that stage, and then we had her just in one of the kidding stalls most of the time before I put her in with the girls. The girls were pretty mean to her. They would, ram her in her side, and they were just mean. And I don't think that that's the reason why she died. And I'm not actually sure why she died. I don't know much when it comes to sheep. I heard that they are pretty easy to raise compared to goats, but my experience, I think sheep are a little harder to raise than goats, from my experience. I've really had no problem with raising goats at all, actually, and he's got a really nice, if he was a doe, he'd have a really nice udder on him. He's got that nice U shape back there that just can hold a really nice udder, and he actually throws that with his kids, his daughters, which I'm hoping to see that out of his daughter and Willow, which was out of Ariel and Zeus. And Zeus is actually bred to Odessa this time around again. Lancelot's bred to Ariel and Cal. Cal's just she's trying to stay away from everybody. She's not any more bagged up. Patsy in there has got a nice little udder. It fits in the palm of my hand. She's been having her tail straight up. She's got squishy ligaments. They're not completely gone, but they're squishy. Cows I can't even feel. Willows I can feel them. And then Ariels I can feel those. So we still got a little ways on those girls. But between Cal and Patsy, Cal's actually going to go before Patsy does, I believe. But we'll see. And with that being said, I just wanted you guys to kind of know about Snow White and that she is no longer with us. So the only sheep we have now is Bear, and it's kind of sad because he don't really have anybody else that's the same as him. My goal was to actually get some sheep. I actually want the black-faced ones. I think those are called Suffolks, and cross them with him, and just raise some market sheep for market only, not to actually keep or anything like that, just raise specifically for that and try to make a little extra money for the farm. That was my goal, but I don't even know if I'm going to do that now. My plans are to sell Cal and her babies, sell Patsy and her babies. Odessa, I'm keeping. She's an AM, but actually a French, but she's registered as an AM, so all her kids will be registered as an AM, but she's actually going to be fully retired after this year. She's not being bred anymore. I don't care what she says. She's not being bred. So, with that being said, it's just a sad day on the farm. But I want to say happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And you'll actually be seeing this tomorrow. But, yeah, that's exactly what we got going on. I had the farmer come down and grab these 2 round bales that were here because those tarps leak. They were supposed to have been waterproof, UVA proof, but they weren't. They didn't even last a few months and they started seeping water in, and those 2 bales got really sopping wet and moldy, so I told him to take them back and he could feed them to the cows that he's still got left. So that's what's going on today. Everybody's soaking up the sun. I know, Zeus, you're still limping a little bit. That's because he had rot in both his feet there, and I cut him all out and got him trimmed up a little better, and he's walking better. Before he wouldn't even walk on them. Right, Zeus? Yes, him's a good boy. Yes, him is. He's a good buck. Yes, you are. Yeah. Yeah, get your weight gain back on, boy. There's his wattles. Right there underneath his ears. They're supposed to be underneath here where his daughters are. He does place them correctly on his kids. Usually I get them out of every other kid gets them. He'll throw them to every other kid. But yeah. Yeah, this is one of my favorite boys. He's a sun glue, but not a true because he don't have the white facial stripes. He did when he was a kid. He had them right here on his eyes. Looked like he had eyeshadow on right there. You could barely see him now. And he was white all the way around his nose. But his ears weren't white. And he's got stripes on his legs. But he does have white underneath a little bit. And then he's got, is it on this side? Yeah, he's got a white band right there that actually goes underneath. But then doesn't come all the way up on this side. It just goes underneath and stops. But he's a nice looking buck. Throws beautiful kids, and they milk heavy. Right, Zeus? Yeah. Say that's correct. So, I just wanted to give you that sad news, and hopefully we will be able to get more if we plan to do that, but I don't know if we'll end up doing that or not. But other than that, we still have Bear. We've got all our goats. Plan to thin some out and go from there. We have an 80% chance of rain today, but I've prayed and prayed and prayed, and the sun's shining, and that even wasn't supposed to be today, but we've got sunshine, and I said thank you, Lord, for that, because we could really use this sunshine. It's supposed to get 50 today. It's actually 36, but still feels 31. I am completely bundled up because it is a little warm, or a little cold, I mean. There's Milo, Mr. Pepper, which my husband calls Booger, because I call him Pepper because he's spicy like a jalapeno pepper. He's very frisky, likes to play, and just a really, really nice kitty. He was born last spring, so he's almost a year old. I think he was born around June. Milo was Dixie's very first litter out of kittens that we had back where we lived in town, and his dad was Gizmo. And I got Gizmo fixed so Dixie wouldn't have any more babies because it was cheaper to have him fixed than to have her fixed. And they both were inside kitties. But then when we moved here, we put both of them outside. Well, then Dixie ended up getting pregnant again. And she had that litter of kittens that I gave everybody away. And then she ended up having another litter. And I think that was Simone, which was the cat that was in there that had kittens from her brother. Which is another cat that my daughter Courtney took with her, Samson, that Siamese. And then she had another kitten the following, like last year, which was him later in the year. And then she had one more litter last year that was later in the year, but those all died. Got tarps blowing around. I probably should fold these up because we got high winds tomorrow. Maybe stick them in the barn or something, I'm not sure, but that's what's going on today. Thank you guys again for watching. Please subscribe if you're new. Thank you to all our new subscribers, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Till next time, God bless.